Hey everyone, welcome to another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about credit cards. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about. I have like over 10 credit cards which I use almost all of them every month for some or the other payment, because like some credit cards give me cash back here, some credit cards give me cash back on hotels or flights, and some credit cards I just have because I really value my credit history and I don't want to close them off, because closing them off is the biggest mistake you can do. Now before you jump off the video, because you might not be interested, just listen to me. You can easily make a lot of money through sign up bonuses and build your credit history if you get a credit card like this American Express credit card. If you get this card, you can get a $200 sign up bonus if you spend $2,000 within the 6 months, which is easy to spend and you get money back. Plus there are other benefits. Let me tell you all about it. Let me explain to you what is the importance of credit cards and credit history. Well, first what credit history is, and then the credit cards. All of the lending decisions in the United States are made based upon your credit history and your credit score. Your credit history gives a credit score. It's basically your ability to lend money and then pay back the money. It's the habit that, hey, if this person is using their credit, are they paying back payments on time? Are they paying it in full? If they're paying it in installments, how does that look? Now there's a definition of credit history. Let me read that off for you so that I don't get it wrong. Credit history captures your ability to meet payments on all outstanding loans or credit products across all financial institutions, and the credit score is a grade that assesses how credit worthy you are in meeting debt obligation. As a newcomer in the US, you do not have any credit history, you don't have any credit score. You build that. This is one of the disadvantages we have over people who have been here in the US maybe since birth or since a few years, right? Because they developed their credit history. When they were 18, they got a credit card, or when they were 18, they got an education loan, which they were paying off, and that's how they built their credit history. Now, as somebody who's coming from master's or PhD, you were already like 23, 25. We need to build that as well so that we are able to make the best use of all of these lending products, all of these loans and all of these car loans, EMI products, and like kind of sustain and live to the full potential in the US in the US financial system. Now in the United States, a lot of people use credit cards. I use my credit cards for quite literally everything. For example, last week me and my wife traveled to Washington DC for one of our cousin's wedding. That whole travel, $800 of tickets, completely free. Why? Because I accrued a lot of points on one of my credit cards, because I just spent a bunch of money on that, and that's how I was able to pay $800 through those credit card reward points. However, here's the catch with credit history. The older your credit history, the better it is. If you decide that, hey, like I don't use my American Express that religiously, like I have another American Express as well, I don't use my American Express that religiously, I'm just going to close it off. That is going to affect your credit history. That is going to close off your line or close off your trade line, which has been open for over 3 years. This is the card which I got in 2019, which has been open for 3 years. If that goes away, my credit score is going to go down, and that is not going to look good on my credit history. So you need to make sure that you're getting credit cards which like you really want. And an American Express, it doesn't have an annual fee. Like most of my cards do not have annual fee. That's why they don't hurt anymore. I just use them once in a while and they should be fine. Now let's talk about how to pick a good credit card. Everybody talks about credit cards, this, credit cards, that, benefits, rewards, all of that. Nobody talks about like how to pick one up. And the bigger question is, as an international student who, like, I did not have my social security number for the first one year almost. Yeah, for the first 1 year. I did not know or understand like what good credit cards are. So what do you do when you don't have a credit history in the US and when you don't have a social security number and you still want to apply to one of these amazing credit cards? Let me introduce you to Nova Credit. What Nova Credit does, it lets you use your Indian credit history to apply for amazing credit cards here. It basically transfers your credit history from India to the US and lets you apply for the credit cards which you were not able to apply because you didn't have a credit history. Now the big question comes up like, hey Parth, I don't know if I have a credit history. Well, if you have any kind of credit card in India, you do have a credit history. If you have any kind of loan, whether it's a personal home, car loan, or even an education loan, which most of you do have a credit history as well. Now, let me tell you about the credit cards I use and why I use them and what are the benefits, and I'll tell you also how to apply for them. This is my first card, which is the Deserve card. I got it. It was $30 sign-up bonus, 1% cashback on everything. It was a very starter card. It doesn't require SSN. That's why this is a Deserve card. It does require a social security number. So most of you won't be able to apply for it. If you do have a social security number, you can apply for this credit card. Now the third one, and my favorite one, is the American Express credit card. This is the one which I applied when I just got offered my first job. I started, and within the month of me starting, I applied for this credit card, and I'll tell you about it more. I do have an American Express preferred as well. I couldn't find it right now, but I have other bunch of cards. I have a Citi credit card. It gives me 2% on everything. I have an Apple card. The iPhone I bought it through this credit card. I have a Built credit card. I pay my rent through this. I have a Chase Sapphire card. This is a great card, just like good sign-up bonus, good bonuses. If you're eating outside, it gives you 3x points and all of these things. Good point, but it has a $95 annual fees, which I don't like. And then there's one of my favorite cards, but you really can't apply because you do need a good credit score plus a good salary. So apply to this when you do build your credit history and when you go for your job. Apply for this card. This is the Capital One Venture X. This is one of my favorite cards. It gives me lounge access in all of the city, or in most of the cities like Delhi, Bombay, in the US as well. It has amazing cashback offers as well, and like great like reward points for travel. So yeah, those are the cards. Right now, how to apply for one of these American Express cards through Nova Credit? I'm gonna leave a link in description. I'm gonna leave two links in description. One would be Nova Credit's website, and one would be the document which will explain to you how to apply. Like American Express gives you $200 sign-up bonus when you spend $2,000 within 6 months, which is not too difficult. If you're planning to buy a phone or a laptop or an iPad or spending like every month, you can spend that money on this, right? It also gives you 3x cashback on supermarket, 2x on gas, 3x on Netflix and all of those subscription services. It also gives you purchase protection. So let's say if I'm buying this chair, right, and if it is under $1,000, and if I don't like it, I can return within 90 days, or I can get my money back through American Express's purchase protection program. American Express also has one of the best customer services I've seen among all of these cards, and that's why like American Express Platinum is one of the most sought after card for business purposes, right? Because their concierge program where, hey, I'm gonna give you a call and you're gonna book a ticket for me, or you're gonna give me reservation, is one of the best ones. So it was a great starter card, and that's why I have the American Express preferred as well. As a student who's coming just now to the US, I would recommend you to apply for the American Express Blue Cash Everyday Preferred. They have changed the layout now, so it doesn't look like this. So don't get confused. What you need to do is go to the link in description that will reroute you to Nova Credit's website. Once you go there, put in your email for a $10 gift card, and then there's a list of cards. Apply for the American Express Everyday Blue Cash. Check what all benefits you have. Credit cards have negative notion around them, but in the US you do need a credit card like to build that credit history and to buy a house or buy a car later on. So once you go to the link, choose the American Express Everyday Blue Cash card, check all of the benefits and all of the things which are written down there, legalities, then apply for it. Once you are going through the application where you're putting your name, your address and everything, there will be an option to fill up your social security number. Under that, there will be some text which will say that, hey, I would like to use my Indian credit history. I do not have a social security number and I'm from one of these countries. Once you check that box, what it does, it allows Nova Credits to get your Indian credit history and lets you transfer that to the US to use that for the American Express card. Fill out the application. I have everything written down in that document. Once you fill it out, American Express has a habit of calling you to verify that, hey, this is you, this is the person who's applying for this card. Once they verify that's you, they'll send you a credit card and you should be good to go. The best part of all of this, after 1 or 2 years, when you graduate, you will have a credit history. And once you have a social security number, give that social security number to American Express to your bank account, and you will have a credit history which you will be able to use to buy a car or to reduce the deposit money which you have to pay when you're getting an apartment. For most of the cards I've mentioned here, they do not have any annual fees associated with it, and that's very important, right? Like, you wouldn't want to pay $100 per year just to use a card, because if you decide like, hey, I don't want to continue this with this card, like that's going to affect your credit history, and we do not want that. All in all, start with American Express. If you just in case do not qualify for an American Express because you do not have a credit history or a strong credit history in India, or a credit score, a good credit score in India, you can apply for the Deserve card through Nova Credit as well. They let you do that, or through the link I have in description. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're interested in knowing a lot more about the other cards I have, please feel free to reach out. Please feel free to comment, and I'll make another video on that. Thank you so much everyone, and until then, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.